There is a question that has been bothering me lately. A question that the more I think about it, the more uncomfortable it becomes. When the Quran was revealed in Arabic, then why am I not learning Arabic? Not as a hobby, not as an optional skill, I mean as something important. Because the Quran repeatedly describes itself as guidance, guidance for mankind, guidance for those who reflect, guidance for those who seek. Yet for years, my relationship with it was mostly through translation. And please don't misunderstand me. Translations are valuable. Tafsir is valuable. Without them, many of us would not understand anything at all. But the more I read translations, the more a thought began to bother me. A translation is not the Quran. It is someone's attempt to bring you closer to what the Quran is saying. The translator chooses the nearest words he can find. But can any translation truly carry every meaning, every emotion, every nuance of the original language? I want you to try something. Take your favorite piece of literature, a famous quote, a proverb, or a poem in your native language, then read its translation. Does it feel exactly the same? Does it carry the same emotions, the same rhythm, the same depth? Or does it feel like something has been left behind along the way? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. Coming back to my realization journey, whenever I would hear about a linguistic miracle of the Quran or a scientific sign mentioned in it, my reaction would not always be, "Look how amazing this is," but sometimes it was, "If this much can be discovered through translation, what else am I missing in the original? Why am I not the one discovering them?" These questions stayed with me, and eventually it led to another question, a much more uncomfortable one. Imagine reading a book every day, speaking about its beauty, telling people it changed your life, calling it the most important book you own, yet never making an effort to understand the language in which it was written. What would you think of a person who did that? Then I realized I was describing myself. I read the Quran, I loved the Quran, I believed in the Quran, but I had become comfortable standing at the door of understanding without ever trying to walk through it. And that frightened me, because the guidance was in my hands all along. Allah had placed the most important book in my life before me. Yet I remained satisfied with only a glimpse of what it contained. What if years passed and I kept saying, "I'll learn Arabic later"? Later, when life becomes easier. Later, when I finally have enough time. But how many years can a person keep saying later before it simply becomes another excuse? That was my turning point. Not a lecture, not a debate, just a realization. A realization that regret alone changes nothing. Action does. So I decided to begin, not because I wanted to become a scholar overnight, not because I thought I would become fluent in a few months. I started because I wanted to take one sincere step closer to understanding the Book of Allah. And perhaps that is all any of us are being asked to do. To take the first step, to start imperfectly, to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment never arrives. If my younger self were listening to this video, I would tell her, start now. Start with whatever resource you can find. Start with 5 minutes a day. Start badly if you have to, but start, because your effort is in your hands. The result is not. As for me, I am still at the beginning of this journey. And if you wish to begin yours, the resources I found helpful or recommend are Medina University Arabic course for English-speaking students and Source Code Academia. The Medina University course was simply one of the first resources I found. The lectures are available on YouTube, and apart from getting the books, it is freely accessible. As for Source Code Academia, it is another option that many students have found beneficial. There are many others as well. The point is not which course you choose, the point is that you choose to begin. Because if the Quran is truly guidance, then seeking to understand it more deeply should never be something we keep postponing. And perhaps the real question is not whether we can learn Arabic. The real question is, how much longer are we willing to remain strangers to a book we claim was sent for us?